Are you tired of feeling stuck? Are you not finding as much joy in your life as it's passing you by? What if you can break it and create a life full of passion, purpose, and joy? That's correct. You are the key to revealing a new dimension of yourself. I'm going to show you in video number 4 the secret weapon I use that enables me to help people go through some amazing breakthroughs. And it is only about, if not taking control of your mind, but making sure you deal with those triggered emotions. Now let's start, because we are about to go on a transformation ride. Stay tuned, don't forget to subscribe, and a thumbs up. 1. The power of perception. Life is a big-ass movie screen. All the good things and all the bad things you ever experienced in your life are playing out on that screen. The twist is that you get to decide how to view it. Even the sunniest of moments can appear chafed through a dark and gloomy lens. A bright spot, positive lens, however, can help us to see these as opportunities instead of challenges. The power of perspective. I mean, are you spending most of your time dwelling on all the negative, the things that are going wrong in our lives? Is it always stressed and worried? Turn the dark lens on you there, my man. But what if you could change it around a little? Would you like to have a life that's focused on the good, on the possibilities, and from the joy which is within your view? You know what? Suddenly that movie screen is looking a whole lot brighter, isn't it? Realistically, life is filled with curveballs for all of us. But what occurs any other way finished for you is, by all accounts, how you decide to accept it. The first step to joy is that no matter what happens, whatever life kicks at you, you will keep choosing beauty, and always return to a beautiful state of being. 2. Conscious decision-making. If you ask most people, they will tell you, I need my job to go well for me to be happy, or, as long as I have this relationship with, insert loved one, I'll be happy, or even just something like, yet the wildest part, it's just not true. As Tony Robbins would say, it's not our conditions, but our decisions that determine who we are and what we become. You awake the next morning. That attitude is a damaging one. Our decisions in life are our own and no one else's to make. You wake up in the morning. Think about that for just a moment, because it means you're not going to be able to blame anyone else or the world if your life isn't going how you want it to. Who cares? No matter who blames me, I always find someone worse off than them blaming someone as well. Do you press that snooze button and lay there for an hour, hating your life? Or do you jump out of bed excited about the possibilities? These are decisions, and they affect the quality of your whole day. The reality is that we all have the responsibility of determining what mood to rock with. The choice is yours to be stressed and overwhelmed, or empowered and optimistic. It is such a subtle difference, it seems. But really what it boils down to, from our spiritual perspective, is that we are making conscious decisions about things instead of just letting life happen to us. What's the kind of life you'd like to invent? So choose joy as you make your decisions. It's a choice you can make day in and day out. 3. Unconscious habits. Here's the problem. Most of us go through life living on autopilot, making decisions unconsciously. Instead, we muddle through our current routines and reinforcement patterns. Or perhaps after a day's work, you just come home and crash on the couch scrolling through social media for hours at an end. Maybe you always seem to get into fights with your significant other and can't help but find yourselves in the same negative interactions over and over again. These are all examples of unthinking habits. We're using this mechanic to trap ourselves in a loop of anxiety and stress, and ultimately misery. Here's the good news. We can escape our trap. How, you ask? Well, for starters, is to become aware of your patterns. Notice now where your thoughts and actions have made you feel. What are your specific triggers for encouraging the dark side? This is related to the third point. Do you find that you have regular self-talk that keeps you stuck? When you recognize the pattern, then you can start deciding to do something different. That won't be an easy thing to do. You know, old habits die hard. The good news is that with awareness and conscious effort, you can create new habits that support you and steer your mind toward joy. 4. Learn to conquer negative self-talk. If we're honest with ourselves, the voice in our head is often our worst enemy. It is the voice that whispers doubts, fears, and criticisms to which we slowly lose confidence or happiness. One way to explain this exercise: What if you had a friend who every time he was with you, criticized and reproached you for not being good enough? Nothing in your life is right. Always something wrong here. How long do you think that friendship would last, though? You. Probably not very long. That sounds awful. Tony Robbins. Exactly. However, we allow ourselves to think this way on a regular basis. It is such a hindrance to one's joy. It is what keeps us feeling small, without power, and unworthy. The solution here is to question these negative beliefs. So next time that voice too quickly tells you that you can't do something, ask yourself, wait, is this really true? Does that empower me or not? Besides, most of the time those negative thoughts are just irrational fear. Trade them for positive affirmations, so tell yourself, I can do this. I am strong and capable. The more you uproot and reframe the negative self-talk sources, the happier and stronger you'll be. 5. Breaking free from ideals. How life should be. All these ideas we carry, the perfect job, ideal, great relationship, and picture-perfect family. And these can be societal expectations. Sometimes they can be from your family, and sometimes expectations that you have put on yourself as well. The only problem is that it will also potentially set you up for undue suffering. Why? Oh, wait. Because life never goes exactly as we planned. Framed another way, the CEO you always dreamed of being will be realized after skipping the office chair and deciding to become a teacher. Maybe you've always dreamt of a fairy tale romance, but somehow your relationship has transformed into something different. And our detours from the principles can seem like failures, which cause disappointment and frustration. Well, what if we looked at those as a chance to be better? And Tony Robbins encourages us to challenge all these limiting beliefs. What if we stopped running towards a preconceived image of happiness? What if we took time to walk and welcome all the surprises that may come? When we drop all this baggage, we are in for a world of possibilities, and with that, an immense greater joy. Ultimately, it is about defining success and happiness on your terms, not someone else's. 6. The power of decisions. So remember, as Tony Robbins loves to remind us, your life is controlled by the decisions you make, not your conditions. Choose your own adventure from that menu, according to what makes you unhappy. And I can guarantee you, if something is making you remain stuck or feeling miserable, it's 100% not dependent on a circumstance. Stop fucking blaming your circumstances. You have to pick up responsibility for your emotional state. Because you are drowning in this sea of negativity. Decide to be joy instead. This is the toxic relationship that's keeping you from losing. Choose to walk away and build more fulfilling relationships. It's hard, not going to sugarcoat it, but every single empowering decision is bringing you closer to the life that you want. So here's a good question to ask yourself. What are you currently tolerating that is no longer serving you? This question will make you think, and hopefully, it reveals some things in your life that you have not been going after what you truly feel like you deserve. Then, when you have isolated those parts of your life, it is time to choose. Do you want to remain a helpless victim, or do you have compassion for that wounded child and use your life experiences as your teacher? The choice is yours. So remember this. You have the power to change your life one decision at a time. 7. Emotional mastery. That's life, right accepted. Take 9/11s, for example. One day that brought darkness and fear in the world. But in the face of such sorrow, there is another way to respond. I have a personal story to illustrate that. Tony Robbins. On 9/11s, I was supposed to be flying into one of those towers. Thank God the flight got delayed, which, I don't know about you, but that would have crushed me. Instead, I made a decision. So, rather than let my emotions feed fear again, instead fuel action from fear, I turned angry, again and again, and finally, into determination. The next day I contacted my resources to help whomsoever was affected and also wanted to give a message of hope, she said. So that's the story. And it shows you what people are capable of when they are emotionally mastered. It is not about trying to shovel away your emotions. It is more so the importance of what feelings are you choosing to dominate the majority of thought. So, shall we all be ruled by fear and anger? Or if you'd prefer to tap into the power of love, gratitude, and courage? Want to take control of your emotional state and move through life feeling strong and confident? Think of your emotions like a toolbox, Zyla said. To be sure, some tools are helpful, like a hammer to drive in nails or a saw to cut wood. However, other tools can also be devastating. such as an axe that is able to destroy something beautiful. So whenever you are choosing a way to use your body, remember, with emotional mastery, it's all about using the right tool for the job. Which emotion will best serve you in rising to the challenge?